What's going on, fans? 2 Guys, 1 Studios.
How we doing? Back in black, back with Matt. Back.
We're back in it.
Yeah,
boys.
I'm gonna do that
And
every
girls.
time we come back.
Okay.
So let's talk about our Osterlocks of the week from last week.
How could you forget it?
How could we forget it? So we had Jack, the Osterlock,
our in-house analyst.
currently 1-0 for the season. He picked the Raiders +1 or the money line, and they won 26-24 over the Chargers at home. So that's a big dub. What'd you have, Monty? You're 1-0 yourself. Talk about yours.
Yeah, I don't want to toot my own horn. Pretty genius. I had the Vikings +4 over the Cowboys. Knew they were going to pull that out. Great game and just a beautiful win for the Vikings. So glad to go 1-0.
Yeah. And then I also took a dub.
Swept it.
Took a dub last night. I had the Seahawks. I said +6, where I said even if you want to buy a point, +7, you didn't even need to, because they covered that and they won. Dethroned the undefeated 49ers. Okay.
Boom. Mike doesn't care if you're undefeated or not.
I don't care. I'm coming after everyone. I want the dogs. I want the underdogs, baby.
Calls it how he sees it.
I call it how I see it. That was my Osterlock. And I think we got some interesting Osterlocks this week.
After going 3-0, how could you not take it?
I mean,
3-0?
3-0. Do you want people pay so much money to get picks, and they go probably 50%?
Not even 50%.
You're lucky if you're going 50%. We're undefeated.
Undefeated here.
We might have to start charging for this. We might have to start charging for this. Shout outs.
You should
for picks.
Throw those teams in a parlay and see what happens.
Because a lot of money.
Yeah, it's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money.
You want to give me yours of the week?
Yeah. So actually give Jack's first.
Give Jack's first. Okay. Jack, hot off the Jets win. He's calling in Jets. What were they? -1.5?
The +1.5.
+1.5?
Yep. He's taking the Jets +1.5. He also said if you could get him +2, would definitely take that. He says he even likes the money line.
He even likes the money line. Who are they playing?
They're playing the Redskins. They're on the road. The Jets are on the road. I don't know.
Jets on the road against Redskins? I don't know. I've been seeing a lot of stuff. Darnold says he's pretty fired up, but he also said he saw ghosts.
Yeah.
And those aren't real.
I'm not going by anything Sam Darnold says.
He already loses his validation with me because ghosts aren't real. He said he was seeing them. So he says Jets are going to do well.
I mean, Kanye said kids see ghosts.
Yeah, that's just an artistic thing.
Yeah, that's true. He's trying to say Sam Darnold's a kid, maybe.
Ooh. Jets fans.
A little subtweet right there.
All right, you want to give yours or do you want me to go first?
Go first. I'm still on the fence.
That's the difference. I'm locked in. I'm
still on the fence. I don't know. This could go either way. Go. Send it.
My lock of the week is the Texans +4 against the Baltimore Ravens. I'm extremely confident about this. The Texans are a great football team. Deshaun Watson is an absolute animal. I know the Ravens good team, play hard. Not against the Texans. Texans are too good. Take them +4.
I like that. I like that a lot. I mean, the one thing that worries me is they're on the road. Texans are on the road.
Yeah, but he's so composed.
He's a composed quarterback, yeah.
The rest of the team,
coming off a bye, so that's good. They're coming off a bye. And the Ravens, though, got to watch for the potential MVP. That's all I'm saying.
But Texans got I feel like they have a good D line that can contain Lamar Jackson.
They have a good defense overall.
He likes to run. I'm not as scared of him as a thrower because the Ravens love to run the ball in general. And he's a good thrower, but I just think if you can beat them on the ground, you can easily beat this team.
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't say easily. It's gonna be
a hard but you're getting the points too. +4. I like that. I'm gonna lock in mine. I'm gonna say the New England Patriots -3.5 on the road versus the Eagles. Okay, so there's a few reasons I'm gonna say this.
Right,
one, Patriots were 8-0 coming into last week, lose a tough matchup against Jimmy G. Okay, so you're 8-1 now. I personally think that the Patriots are the best team in the NFL. They have arguably the best rush defense in the NFL. And for an Eagles team that relies on like Jordan Howard and what's the other running back's name?
Miles.
Yeah, Miles. I just think they're not going to move the ball like that. I don't trust Carson Wentz throwing any of the weapons that he has because he doesn't have much.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think Tom Brady or Bill Belichick are going to be denied.
You heard it here. I love that biggest thing, too. I think when they come off a loss, they are just a different animal.
Yeah, because you know what I'm saying, though? The way they respond versus other teams. I wish the Giants responded like the New England Patriots did, but that's just not the way it is. But those guys are going to come back and play twice as hard. Doesn't matter if they're on the road. Doesn't matter if they're home. I think they're going to beat the Eagles, by more than 3.5 points.
Also a little payback for the Super Bowl.
Yeah, a little sweet victory.
Yeah,
I like that a lot.
And I heard you mention the Giants.
Oh,
one person in Instagram comments told you about how there's a good chance they don't lose this week, but you never know with them.
Wait, what?
There's a good chance Giants aren't losing this week because they're on bye.
Yeah, that would be exactly why. I'm looking.
It's the only time ever the Giants are like, wow.
I was literally just looking through, and I'm trying to find the Giants, and I'm like, they can't be playing. For Monty to say they're taking a dub, they're awful.
Yeah, they're awful. You want to talk about?
Yeah, we can definitely dissect that.
I don't want to talk about it, but I think to help us get over
addressed.
it.
Yeah, this is almost like a rehab session. Like we're just venting to each other a little bit. Atrocious. Daniel Jones looked good to an extent because you got to keep in mind that he's literally playing against a college team, more or less, a college defense. He played against the Jets, have a horrific defense, and the Giants are even worse. They called it the garbage bowl, whatever they called it. That's exactly what it was as advertised. It was just a sloppy game. Like, yeah, there was a lot of points scored. If you're looking for that offensive game, yeah, you had it.
It was a good game.
It was a good game because
about it, but
yeah, I mean, but you know what? And I'll touch on this, but it's a good game in terms of that. Yeah, both New York teams are playing, so everyone wants to see who's the king of New York.
King of New York, Bills.
King of New York, literally, it's the Bills.
Yeah,
okay, that's
Jets fans.
It was just in terms of a football clean, fundamentally sound game. That was not it.
No, not even.
And another thing I cannot stand is Jet fans coming up to me saying, "We killed you."
Yeah.
Who did you kill? It was 7 points, and Daniel Jones had the ball with 2 minutes left to drive down the field. Mm-hmm. Didn't do it.
He didn't.
But they were in the game up until the last 2 minutes of the game. How are you going to tell me that they killed them? The Jets had such high expectations coming into the season. The Giants expected absolutely nothing. Yeah. Eli Manning should still be quarterback right now. I'm just saying, in terms of going into the season, that's what everyone thought. They didn't think Daniel Jones was going to come in until second half, end of the season. Mm-hmm. Okay. This is a young team that's developing. They're missing a lot of pieces. Congrats. Jets. Congrats, Jets fans.
No matter what team that was it was good football, but it was just bad teams. It doesn't prove anything. I actually wanted to lose because I want a better draft pick. Comes between us and the Jets. We go down, maybe grab Chase Young.
Literally, enjoy that win, Jets.
Enjoy that win.
Because you're going to end up getting you're probably going to win 5 games again this season, 6 games again this season. You're going to get a mid-tier pick, and you're going to do nothing again.
Stuck in mediocrity.
You know who we got from the Jets? Leonard Williams. And I met him.
Did you?
Yeah, I was at the Pro Bowl in when they did it in Orlando. Uh-huh. It was when we were freshmen. I'm at the Pro Bowl, and there was different events going on around the stadiums where they were practicing at. They had different practice facilities, different fields in Disney and whatnot. So that I see this real tall, brazy Reds this big guy. I'm he's got to be someone. This guy can't be nobody.
Yeah, he's nobody.
He's got to be somebody. So I walk up to him, and it's him. So I figured it out, put 2 and 2 together. Got a picture with him, actually.
Was he in the Pro Bowl?
Yeah.
He was in the Pro Bowl.
Yeah, as a Jet. He was in the Pro Bowl.
I thought. I mean, I know people say he underperformed what he's up to. But the fact he made the Pro Bowl is pretty crazy. It's a good thing we got a Pro Bowler. We didn't trade that much for him.
I was happy to get him.
I like him.
I heard of him before, and I knew he was a decent player.
He's putting pressure on Darnold. I'm happy to get him for what we sold him for too. I thought it was a good deal, 100%.
Did you see Clowney last night? I think that was his first game with them, but he was just all over the court. He was all over not Russell Wilson, I'm sorry, over Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah, he was.
All night, like non-stop pressure. I could not believe what I was seeing. Like, I don't know. I don't know if you saw that, but like, I thought it was crazy.
Yeah. He was playing so well. I think the thing is, people forget that he was a number 1 overall pick, how good he was in college because he had a couple injuries. When he comes in, he's an unreal player,
100%.
and he just knows how to get to the quarterback. He has always
and that's
known
what
it.
you need, because
so
when you're bringing pressure like that constantly on the quarterback, he's never going to settle into a rhythm. He's never going to get into that flow, and he's going to do nothing.
Speaking of that, too, I think Jimmy G was a little bit flustered last night. That's the first time I could pick in my head where huge game needs to come up clutch. Right when it got to like crunch time, he almost threw like 3 interceptions. He ended up playing pretty well, better than I thought. He got the field position to get the field goal, but like it was lucky.
Yeah,
like he was like, you could tell he looked like rattled.
I'm gonna give him props for hanging with Russell Wilson. Yeah. Even though he's 8-0, I'm saying hanging with Russell Wilson because Russell Wilson and the Seahawks are just with Pete Carroll. I'm sorry, just such an experienced team. Yeah. Like they've won Super Bowls. They know what it's like to play in big games, and like they were very well prepared for this. Every time the Seahawks had the ball late in the game, whether it was with less than 5 minutes left or overtime, I was convinced that if Russell Wilson touched it, he was going to end up scoring or bringing them within field goal range.
I thought for sure. He threw that pick in the red zone.
Yeah.
That was a good throw, but like
he sort of ducked past it, you know? It was just up in there. It had that hang time.
But he was going crazy. I thought he was about to go down first drive and score. The pick.
Some of the passes, though, that he's able to get off on the run. Like, it's unbelievable. And it's to no name. I forgot who it was. It was someone that had stepped in yesterday, number 17. I forgot his name. But he had, I think, 9 career receptions coming into the game. Mm-hmm. And, like, he was just lights out yesterday, catching everything. But that's because every ball that was thrown to him by Russell Wilson, dime. I
think just the way he extends the plays, like, where you think, oh, man, he's about to go down. And he's still, like, I remember from that game, Russell Wilson was getting sacked. He got out clearly. Then, like, as soon as he got out, they blew the whistle for in the grass for the quarterback. Mm-hmm. Next play, 3rd and 16, gets the first down.
That's what I was just about to bring up. He ran the ball like 20 yards just to get the first.
Yeah. Like, just to throw a dime on the run. You can't teach that. He's
no, you can't. No, he's a great quarterback.
That was the best game I've seen in a really long
time. I think
that
was the best. That was the game of the year so far.
Oh, 100%.
And as for Jimmy G, too, I mean, I'm not going to say I haven't been impressed with him this year, because there has been points where he's impressed me. And honestly, if that kicker makes that field goal, the 49ers win the game. Yeah. So he brought them to the point where they needed to be. They just couldn't close it out. I mean,
the thing that sucks about that kicker, too, you hear a story?
He's a nobody. He just walked in. And
they picked him up because Robbie Gould's quad was sore, comes in. He did hit that 47-yarder to go to overtime, which I respect.
Yeah, and then which it was a big kick, but I think that he was just too overwhelmed.
Yeah, I felt bad for him. Going for the game winner, just absolutely shanks it.
That was bad. Poor guy. It really wasn't even close.
No, it wasn't even close. I thought, I was like, they must have tipped it.
That's what I thought. And it was nothing. There was no contact, anything. I think he got hit after the play, but like, okay, they didn't make it close. Yeah. So,
you want to talk about the Yankees a little bit? With the new pitching coach. I mean, we don't have much to say about the Yankees yet. Free agency isn't really in swing and that, but they've finally moved on from Larry Rothschild as the pitching coach.
Yep.
And they've hired Matt Blake, who is, I think he's about 33.
Yeah, he's young, former Indians pitching coach.
He wasn't their pitching coach. I think he just worked.
He just worked with the pitchers.
He's like an analytics guy, but everything I've been hearing about this guy has been phenomenal. Where the Indians too transform pitchers. He's a part of that, and everyone's saying he's a player's coach. Like, I saw people tweeting online who used to play for him. He's a player's coach, loves analytics, like does all this stuff where I'm thinking he's exactly what we need with like a Houston guy or like Indian guy, where they transform pitchers that aren't that highly prospected and they just turn them into just studs.
What's your take on the whole analytics thing?
Analytics?
Say your take first. How do you feel about like the shift, like all the analytics? Aaron Boone's considered an analytics heavy manager. Mm-hmm. Like Joe Girardi was not. Joe Girardi went more based on instinct, and that's why he's not in the position he's in right now. So what's your take on that?
My take on it is, as a fan of baseball, I hate it. As a fan of the Yankees, I love it. So I want my team to do it because it works. It's science. The people who try and argue against science, you can't argue about science because it means everything. And baseball is a big game of instincts, but for a majority, you need to have the facts, you follow them, and if your instincts are really pushing you, you go against it. But in a general, I think analytics are really important. The Houston Astros pitching coach loves analytics, and that's why everyone who goes there speeds up their rotation on their balls by so much and turns into a
that is crazy
bona fide ace.
But that almost makes me think that that's something a little more beyond that.
Oh, yeah, it looks a little sketchy to me.
Of course, bro. There's certain pitchers who went in there and they literally started throwing like 5 to 8 miles per hour faster. Where does that come from?
It's insane.
Come on.
I actually couldn't imagine how that happens. Trevor Bauer said his pine tar. He said
that's what he
checking
said
for pine tar because him and Garrett Cole kind of have beef.
Oh,
so he's like checking for pine tar, but like something's up where they just go in.
That's what I'm saying.
You can only be so much of a guru to really handle that.
And in my opinion on the whole analytics thing, like the shift, I think that is killing. It's killing baseball, but like also as a hitter, you got to be able to adjust too.
Yeah,
you're getting paid millions of dollars a year. Okay, that's your job. This is your full-time job now, right? You're not playing high school baseball. You're not playing college baseball.
Yeah,
you're a professional baseball player. You're telling me that you cannot will yourself to hit the ball to the opposite side of the field where they're not shifting you?
One thing, my argument against that, though, I feel like some of these players, like good contact guys, can do that. The big guys, they've been just pulling the ball their whole lives, and then now they don't even try and hit it. They just go for homers.
Yeah, and that's what the game has become, though. It's home run and strikeout heavy, and that's the problem, though. I wish there was more players like a Tony Gwynn, like a Pete Rose, like people who are hitting the ball all over the field. Like, yes, they can hit for power, but like they're putting the ball in play. Like
DJ LeMahieu,
I love him. Yeah, I love that man. Like that's what you need, though. Mm-hmm. That's what gets in like pitchers rattled and whatnot when there's constantly men on base, there's constant pressure throughout the game. Not if you hit a solo shot. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, a home run helps, but if you could get, let's just say, a double here, double there, keep the pressure on the pitcher, like I think that harms them more. But
I think that's why the Houston Astros beat us. They play small ball. I always say it. The Yankees never do it, which gets me annoyed. But the small ball players just help the team out so much because in a big situation, a pitcher's not going to let you hit a home run.
No, you know
they're not going to let you hit one.
No, they want to be called the Bronx Bombers. Yeah. They want to do this, and that. They want to be known for home run hitting. But then, come playoff baseball, you're not hitting the ball out of the field like that.
No, because you have the good pitchers pitching.
It goes based on matchup, and like you said, a analytic heavy team like the Astros, they're going to be going matchup by matchup. They don't care if they have to switch the pitcher every batter in the 7th or 8th inning. They are going to get each guy out with their weaknesses. You know what I'm saying? They're targeting their 100%. Weaknesses.
100%. I agree with that.
You want to move on to next segment?
Yeah, let me just say something to the Instagram Live quick or YouTube Live. I actually don't know how to check those comments, so go to the Instagram Live and ask us some questions at the end of the show. We're going to answer some questions. So if you guys give us some good questions, it helps out.
Yeah, definitely. We're accepting everything. We love to hear it all.
Yeah.
We're looking for something.
We want to hear what you guys want to say.
We want to hear what you guys want to know.
We want to know what you guys might know.
And might not know.
But not sure. All right. What's the next segment?
All right. So the next segment, let's just talk about it's a little free-for-all. This is just movies. I want to just talk about some movies that are coming up. You want to talk with me about some movies, Matt?
I'm down to talk about movies. I'm always down to talk movies. That was our first big segment thing too.
Yeah.
We're talking about movies and we're
just hammering it. How do you think we got to this level? Show of the week level,
Show of the week level for everyone who tuned in late.
Everyone tuning in late.
Yeah,
show
not
of the week.
To brag, but show of the week.
Swaggy.
Gonna be on the wall. No big deal. But whatever.
No biggie.
So what movies you want to talk about?
All right. First one I want to talk about. Ford versus Ferrari. I want to see exactly when that's coming out, but that's gonna have Matt Damon. That's gonna have I'm sorry.
Christian Bale.
Yeah, Christian Bale.
That's
the big one. I was looking at the date. This is coming out this Thursday, actually. It premieres this Thursday. So basically what the movie is, for those of you who don't know, is Christian Bale is an experienced race car driver, and Matt Damon comes to him with a Ford race car that he wants to outperform a Ferrari. This is based on a true story.
Mm-hmm.
And this is like unheard of at the time. I think it takes place like maybe in the 70s or the 80s. Unheard of at the time for that to happen. You know, Ford, I don't know if they really had like Mustangs and whatnot. Like this was like the intro to Ford really having the cars like that. So
one thing I'll add into for that is that Ferrari used to run like those what are the races called? And like the skinnier cars. Whatever those races are used to be huge in Italy.
Yes.
And Ferrari used to run ship. It used to be their bread and butter. And then Ford wanted to make a car because they didn't have any that could even compare to Ferrari, even compare to the other companies.
Yeah, with the speed and in terms of the technology and whatnot in the engine. So I think it's going to be a great movie, a great watch. I'm real excited about it. What about you?
Oh, I'm really excited for it. Christian Bale's great. I like
He's
Matt
a phenomenal
Damon.
actor. Matt Damon's another one.
It's a cool plot. I've never really been a racing guy, but I know it's going to be one of those movies that just like sucks you in.
Yeah, no, that's exactly how I feel. Like, with the exception of like the Fast and Furious is, you know, like race. I don't know. There's not a lot.
Those.
Yeah, you don't really like those.
The only one I liked was Tokyo Drift.
Really?
Yeah.
That's funny you just said that, because I made a note that the person who was driving the Kia Isuzu, who pissed me off when I was on the phone, I made a reference saying they were driving like this was Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift. Like I got it in my notes. So I love that. Yep, that's a great movie.
I think he's racing for someone else.
Yeah, no, but with the exception of that, though, I mean, no, never. Cars, the animated Cars movie, that's pretty good.
That's
that's a classic. Movie. Life's a highway, baby.
That's a great movie.
But yeah, this movie's gotten. I know a lot of people don't like to hear the Rotten Tomatoes. Do you care?
Yeah, sure.
I like. Are you one of those people?
No,
who doesn't like to know the ratings before you see it?
I like to know the ratings. And then I like to rate it myself and see how inept Rotten Tomatoes is.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to tell you it right now. Rotten Tomatoes, 92%. Ford versus Ferrari.
That's a good sign. One episode, though, we should have like a segment where we look at Rotten Tomato scores.
Oh, yeah.
Like the most like construed ones.
No, because it's stupid. Honestly, some of the movies I see at the top where they have perfect scores, and it's like these children's movies, and maybe they don't have flaws, but like, how are you going to say that's a perfect movie? You just said it 100% is a perfect movie in my eyes. I don't think that many exist.
I don't think any exist.
But they seem to think there's a ton, and they're ones that I don't even like.
Some of them are too. Like, when they look at stuff for comedy, like the biggest comedy classics of our time are like the Will Ferrell movies, like the Adam Sandler ones. They get like 23% on Rotten Tomatoes. It's like, because they look at it from like too much of like an artsy like perspective where they just want like.
It's that, and then it's also a lot of, you have to almost like see the impact or the effect that it would have on society. Like, one example of this, did you see the Dave Chappelle stand-up that came out recently? I saw it. I'm not crazy into Dave Chappelle. Like, I probably never really watched him with the exception of a few stand-ups before this. Saw the stand-up. My friend told me to watch it. I loved it. A lot of like dark humor, a lot of jabs. Like, it was good. It's exactly what stand-up comedy should be. Like,
stirs the pot.
Eddie Murphy. Do you ever see Eddie Murphy stand-up like back in the day? Like raw, delirious. Like, he's got some solid content. Like real like edgy stuff that you probably shouldn't be saying, but he's saying it. He's getting away with it. People love it. That's what he did. He got a 0% on Rotten Tomatoes.
0%.
0. How could you say that man's work was worth 0?
You want to know the thing that annoys me too is I've never been a Dave Chappelle guy, but all I've been hearing from people is how great that was. This stand-up.
It was good.
People are saying it was tremendous. And then Rotten Tomatoes has the audacity to speak for everyone. Put it on their site. You look up the movie, you find it, and give it a 0?
They literally said Dave Chappelle is a nobody nothing.
How do you give it a 0? And then you go to other stuff. I forget, there was one movie where it was like a 98, and it was the worst movie ever. It's the reason I started my vendetta against Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, I can't blame you. That, you know what I go by, honestly? I go by the Google users. I see what the Google users like for movies. And from there, because anyone can vote on that, it's not based on the critics. Rotten Tomatoes is, I think it's all based off of the critics. So if they don't like a movie or they think that there's something that's subjective in it or whatnot, they're not going to, rate it well.
What other movies coming out?
This one I'm real excited about. This one, like, I'm like tingling a little
How
bit.
excited?
So excited. Oh, The Irishman. Okay, The Irishman. Bobby De Niro, Al Pacino, Joey Pesci. How much with Marty Scorsese behind the scenes? How much better does it get than that? Is there anything better than that?
Tremendous cast. What's the plot though? I haven't heard much
So,
about it because
yeah.
all I keep hearing is it's an artsier one and it's a little bit slower.
Yeah, it is definitely a
little
little length to it. I'm gonna pull up the time right now because I'm curious about that. Most Martin Scorsese movies over 2.5 hours. It's 3 hours and 30 minutes. There you go. So, Rotten Tomatoes wise, 97%.
I don't listen to Rotten Tomatoes. You actually reminded me why I hate Rotten Tomatoes.
Well, then you know what? Now I'm putting my foot in my mouth because Google users 87.
That's still good.
That's good, but they basically just said that Ford vs Ferrari is better than The Irishman, and now I want to cry.
Well, think about how many users there are going into it with different like ideas and stuff. Where it's like, I don't know. Read the plot.
I need tissues, Eddie.
What's the plot? Or can you give me the plot?
Are you kidding me? 87%. This is why I shouldn't have looked. I shouldn't have looked.
Give me a synopsis.
It's about Jimmy Hoffa. Okay, I'll just read it, honestly. Because they could summarize it better than I can. In the 1950s, truck driver Frank Sheeran gets involved with Russell Buffalino and his Pennsylvania crime family. As Sheeran climbs the ranks to become a top hitman, this is De Niro, he also goes to work for Jimmy Hoffa. Jimmy Hoffa is played by Al Pacino, a powerful teamster tied to organized crime. So basically, Jimmy Hoffa was someone who was like an advocate for Italians at that time because they were discriminated and whatnot. And it's a typical mob movie. Okay,
it sounds good to me. And the thing about every mob movie is they're so different, where there's a different like level to it. Yeah. There's a different like thing. Like, it sounds good to me.
I think it's gonna be great. This is actually there was Heat. So the movie Heat with Al Pacino and Robert De Niro is the first time they were ever like seen on camera at the same time in one scene. That's never happened before.
Yeah, that's insane.
Okay, so now this is going to be the first time where they actually have like lines and like they're going to go through a full movie together, and I think it's going to be crazy. With Joe Pesci too, cool. Like it's going to be.
My one concern is great cast, seems like a great plot. When you make a movie 3.5 hours, it's going to be slow.
You lose interest.
It's going to start out slow, and I know the end is going to be insane, but it's like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. It starts out slow, and I think that's why a lot of Google users probably didn't like it, because it was slow and they're like, everyone wants something right here. Right. They want it fast. If it's slow, they're not going to
That's the problem. Yeah, a lot of people don't have the attention span for that. And yeah, it probably is a great cinematic movie, but like you said, a lot of people may not like it as much just because it's a slow start. But yeah, I'm going to definitely enjoy it. I just hate the fact that they're only showing it in select theaters. Yeah. So like you could only see it right now in this area, the next closest place, New York City.
You want to know what pisses me off about that? It's one of those movies
that's a classic.
It's artsy though, and they're like, we'll only release it in a few places. First off, you're hurting your movie because people don't see it in the big screen and people don't get to enjoy the qualities of a movie theater. Second off, you're trying to be like, I don't even know what like perspective they're trying to put on it. Like it's like one of those like feature films at a film festival. Like
it's like a Sundance.
You're shooting yourself in the foot by holding on to it more and doing this stuff. And it's not allowing as many people to see it. But you said they're releasing on Netflix, right?
Yeah, so it's going to be coming out on Netflix on the 22nd.
If there's a movie and I really care about it, I want to see it in theaters.
Don't you think this would have been one of those movies to just do so well in the box office? Like, regardless of the 3.5 hours, people are going to go that initial time to see a movie headlined by Robert De Niro, Al Pacino, Joe Pesci. When do you think the next time they're going to make a movie is going to be?
Never.
Up in the sky. They'll make a movie up in the sky. Not on Earth.
I feel like they didn't really like advertise it.
No, they didn't.
I haven't seen it on TV. The only way I saw it was on Reddit.
Did you watch the trailers?
I watched the trailers.
The trailers are pretty. It looks good to me. I'm excited.
I wouldn't see it. Like I just don't hear about it. I feel like they're trying to let others talk about it and not advertise it. But I don't think that's a sustainable plan for a movie that's looking to make a lot of money, because they're probably paying these actors a handsome amount of money.
Yeah. No, they are. They are for a fact, but I think they're not even looking for that amount of money because they probably already got their pay from Netflix. I can almost guarantee Netflix, because they bought the rights. They gave the producers of that film a large sum of money, and they're banking that people are going to go on Netflix and watch this movie like me, like an imbecile, like 5 times over.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to do something crazy like that. 3-4 times I'm going to watch this movie.
No, that's a great point too. I'll say though, just the plan that just no advertisement isn't helping Netflix, because they definitely paid a ton of money, and just like, how are you not like getting all behind this movie on the money you spent? They just spend all their advertising money on the purchase.
Yeah, I mean the budget for the film is over $140 million,
and they probably don't have crazy effects or anything. It's just all actors.
And you know what most of the money is on? It's on the CGI, because
there's a lot.
Oh yeah, so let me explain this out. All 3 of the people that I named, their ages are going to range in the movie from 20 years old. I'm sorry, 30 years old.
Mm-hmm.
From 30 years old to 80 years old.
That's insane.
It's all CGI. So if you see, like in the trailers, you'll see like Robert De Niro is going to look like he looked in Casino, or like in Goodfellas. Like same thing with Al Pacino. Like these guys are all they did a great job with. But like I want to bring up over $140 million. You got the Joker. $60 million budget.
Yeah,
it's the most profitable comic book movie ever now, because it did over $955 million worldwide. Movie based on a comic book.
Yeah, wasn't Endgame kind of based on a comic book?
No, yeah, this is the most profitable.
Oh, profit. Yeah.
So like in terms of the amount of the budget and how much it made.
Yeah,
this was the most. Yeah,
that was.
It happens.
Right over the head. Yeah, it happens. We've been in here for a while.
Yeah, no, we've been in the studio for a while.
Next segment.
Yeah. Questions.
Well, that's the next.
Yeah, I guess.
All right. Well,
yeah,
we
more
have
or
one
less.
question so far. If anyone listening right now, please give in some questions while we answer this one.
Oh, it was also Leo's birthday yesterday.
Oh, Leo's birthday.
It was Leo's birthday yesterday.
You want to do a quick one? While we wait on some people to give us more questions, because we only have one right now. Go. Favorite Leo movie and why?
Wow, you want me to do this quick? The Wolf of Wall Street.
I was gonna say you can't say that, but you already got it.
Okay, fine. No, I can't say that. No, I can think of one. Shutter Island.
Oh, that's a great one.
I love that movie. I just think the whole fact that you have to almost second guess everything you just watched by the end. I'm not gonna spoil it for anyone who hasn't seen it. You have to second guess everything you've watched already, because you don't even know if what you're watching is true. I love it. I've watched it multiple times. He does great in it. That or The Departed. The Departed's a good movie with him too. He doesn't have a big role in it, but
thank you. It's not like I wanted to say that right after that.
Oh no, were you?
You stepped on my toes to say The Departed. Shutter Island, though, I would not have said. That was a great call. That movie was phenomenal. Well, now I'm not gonna repeat that.
I got another
Wolf of Wall Street. No, I'm joking.
I got another good one in mind.
Say it before.
You want me to?
Yeah.
Are you okay? Inception. You like that one?
Have you ever seen Inception? And
really,
I just never got around to it.
It's good. It's with all like the lucid dreaming and whatnot.
I heard that's a tremendous movie. I really do have to get around to seeing that. I have a list of movies in my phone that I need to see.
That's on.
It's like repeat or watch the first time, and I just have not gotten anywhere on it.
You gotta watch that one.
I do. I feel like it'd almost be a shame to say my favorite was Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, because that was a great movie. But
it's a good movie. It's a good movie. I want to actually look this up now.
All right, I'm going to say Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. The movie in general, I loved it. I did think it was slow, but Leo's acting in that, just all the stuff he was doing, he just made that movie so much better just by being Leo. He was hilarious. Great actor, believed everything, and he murdered that role.
He's great with Brad Pitt too. Honestly, they make a great duo. Some other movies.
Mike Ingarano said Raging Bull.
What does that have to do with anything?
Huh?
Raging Bull.
Yeah. Is that your dad?
Yeah, it's got to be Dad. Like, we're talking about DiCaprio.
What's going on?
We're not talking about Bobby D. Come on.
How are you doing, Mike Ingarano Sr.? I thought you were.
Yeah, tell him you got to get a sandwich from the deli.
Yeah, I'm down. I thought that was Marissa on your Instagram or something.
No.
And I was like, how's that working?
What, it had a little underscore underneath?
Because I didn't know you were Mike Ingarano Jr.
Technically, I'm not. Different middle names.
I think it still counts as.
Does it?
I think
I
so.
don't know.
I think front first.
Well, you know why I'm not a junior?
Why?
Because my name's Michael and his name's Miguel. Miguel.
Oh, that's
Italian.
It's pretty cool. You learn
like
something
that?
every day.
Yeah. So some other movies. All right, back up. Thanks, Dad. Titanic. That's a classic.
Yeah, Titanic.
The Revenant. You ever see that?
Revenant was awesome, but
That's
that's
movie.
one of those movies where like they don't talk for like half it. Like, yeah. So I was like, it's a good movie. I wouldn't say it's my favorite. You about to blow me away right now?
Django.
He played
when
that
he actually
movie.
injures himself in that movie and starts bleeding and just carries on with the scene. Like, I can't.
Your dad goes, "Don't eat at Jersey Mike's. Come to Mom and Roast's Son's Italian Deli, Matt." I will. I gotta come and get a sandwich. Jersey Mike's. I've only eaten there twice, but call me out from the last show. I love it.
Yeah, that's a classic,
I'll be there.
though.
Django. The movie, Leo plays it so well. He plays it so well. That movie's just hilarious.
Yeah.
Like Django is so funny.
I know.
Movie. Who's the actor who plays it? Django.
Oh, Jamie Foxx.
Jamie Foxx is
he's classic.
He's classic in that movie. Is there anything else on there?
I don't. You definitely haven't seen this, but What's Eating Gilbert Grape? So it's Johnny Depp.
I saw a little bit of it.
Yeah, it's where he plays like a mentally disabled kid, and that
one doesn't look up my alley.
No, it's not up. Yeah, I just watched it because I'm a big Leo fan, and he was mad young.
So I'm not a Leo fan.
No, if you are, then you should be watching it. Like it's good. Like the role he has to play. Like you would actually have thought that there was something like wrong with Leonardo DiCaprio. You know, Gangs of New York's another one. You've seen that one.
I think we're running out of time. You just want to answer the one question we got?
Yeah, let's answer it.
From Jimmy Zaval. Your dad sent the address. He said, "I'll hook you up, Matt."
Oh my God.
I'll hold you to it. Where is it? It's a little bit up here. Yup, it's Jimmy said, "Who is more likely to survive longer on deserted island, Matt or Mike?"
Can Matt or Mike survive without the other?
Can Matt and Mike? I don't know, man. I think I would last a while there.
Really?
Yeah.
That's you think you would out survive me?
Yeah, nothing personal, but like.
Let's hear it.
I'll give you 2 reasons.
Okay.
I know it's been a long way in the past, but I used to wrestle and I would eat nothing all winter. Like I'd basically hibernate. Oh no. Well, I wouldn't eat big before it, but I basically hibernated through the winters, would eat nothing and still, go through my stuff. So I think it's a big advantage. You know? And number 2 is I'm a master of like karate. So if I see someone like sneaking on my island, like karate chop to the neck, like and eat them.
Yeah, but you know what your problem is?
What?
You're going too much for the whole tactical, like, whoa, I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah,
I'm going more for like peace.
Peace.
I'm gonna use my communication skills to learn how to communicate with different animals and different species, and I'm gonna basically form an alliance, and I'm gonna start a civilization on whatever island I'm on, and I'm gonna rock out there, and I'm gonna build an empire, basically. Yeah.
My concern about that. Is I don't even know how to respond to that. That's actually a great answer.
Mind blown.
What are the animals though?
I was hoping to have the little guy from Guardians of the Galaxy, the little raccoon.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say Madagascar and the lemurs.
Oh, if I had Madagascar and I had those animals with the voices of that cast, I think I would lose my mind. I would be so happy.
Yeah, but the real question would be, have they really got those voices, or are you just losing your mind because the heat?
But am I losing it because the heat? If I'm surrounded by a body of water and I can stay hydrated?
If surrounded by a body of water.
You said I'm on an island, right?
Deserted island.
What does that mean? It's deserted without people.
What
but
are you gonna drink? The ocean water? You
You
didn't hear that?
Okay, but you know what else I didn't tell you? Wait, did I not tell you my second skill?
No, you clearly didn't.
I could filter water through my nostrils.
All right, that's unrealistic. This one, if you drink ocean water, you didn't hear? Sailors used to drink ocean water, and they'd go crazy. That's what they get. I forget what it's called. It's not cabin fever. But they used to lose their minds. That's why
they get drunk as a sailor.
That's why they used to see mermaids. Fun fact. Sailors used to drink
There's
ocean
no
water.
way.
Yeah,
I'm believing this right now, and I'm listening to you. I'm investing a lot in you.
This is what I'm saying. Sailors used to be stranded. They would drink ocean water start to lose their minds because it's too salty. So it goes to their head, messes with their brains. They'd see like a pile of rocks or like, no, you know what they used to see? Funnier. What's those things called?
What, a seahorse?
No, they're like chubby, like
Chub.
in the water. Not walruses, like manatees or the chubby guys.
A seal? No.
It might be seals, like something
Like
around
something-
seals.
yeah.
Some seals, they used to see them lying on rocks and they'd lose their minds and they would say that they saw mermaids. So if they get rescued, they said they saw, because that's where they get like the flippers from in like the bottom half.
Did you interview any sailors?
I myself am a sailor and the ocean water is hidden different.
Aye, Captain. That's it.
You want to end it on that?
We're done.
Thank you, Instagram. Thank you, YouTube. Thank you, Edward. Shout out to Edward.
Yeah, thank you everyone for tuning in this week. Remember, tune in next week, 6 to 7 on Tuesday. We're gonna be streaming live on Instagram, streaming live on YouTube. Also, if you haven't already, follow us on the gram. Show your friends. We're gonna be posting content throughout the week, daily clips, segment updates, and everything else. So definitely tune back in. Look forward to next week.
Stay classy, San Diego.
Stay classy, San Diego.